Now let us discuss about the Java methods. A Java method is a collection of statements that are grouped together to perform an operation or a particular task. When you call the system.out.println method, for example, the system actually executes several statements in order to display a message on the console. It means that whenever we are using methods, there are surely a set of statements, in fact a well-defined set of statements behind the functioning of the method. So in this video lesson we are going to discuss about the methods, how many types of methods are available in Java, and how to define our own methods. So basically two types of methods are available. One is the library methods, and second one is, that is optional, user defined methods. By library methods we mean that the methods which are already with the library of the Java, and these methods are simply used whenever and wherever we want to use them. One is the user defined methods. Actually Java gives us the liberty to define our own methods. If we know the rules associated with the definition of the methods, we can define our own methods. Means we can define our own set of statements called the methods to carry out or to solve a particular problem. Okay, so a method definition consists of a method header and a method body. Here are all the parts of a method. First one is the modifier. The modifier, which is optional, tells the compiler how to call the method. This defines the access type of the method, if it is private or public or something like that. Then when we have a return type, a method may return a value. If we wish a method to return a value, we can design such a method which would return a value. That is possible. The return value type is the data type of the value the method returns. What type of value it will return, it needs to be mentioned, and that will be mentioned with the help of the return type. Some methods perform the desired operations without returning a value. In this case, the return value type is the keyword void. Void means it will not return any value. Then we have the method name. This is the actual name of the method. The method name and the parameter list together constitute the method signature. So while naming a method, we have to follow the syntax rules of the identifiers. All these rules are applicable to the method name. And then we have parameters. A parameter is like a placeholder. When a method is invoked, you pass a value to the parameter. This value is referred to as actual parameter or argument. The parameter list refers to this type, order, and the number of parameters of a method. Parameters are optional, that is, a method may contain no parameter. It depends upon our method for which purpose we are defining the methods. We can pass some arguments or parameters to the methods, or we may skip them. Okay, then we have the method body. The method body contains a collection of statements that define what the method actually does. So look at this figure. Here we have written public static int max, int num1, num2, int num2, and certain other statements. So public and static, these are the modifiers. This tell these modifiers tell us about the accessibility of the method. Then we have a return type is int. Return value type is int, means whenever this method is called, it is supposed to return a value and the data type of the value will be integer. Then we have the method name. Max is the method name, and within these parentheses we have parameters. This is the parameter list. Here we have to mention the different parameters along with their data types. int num1 comma int num2. We cannot write here int num1 comma num2. We have to specify the data type of each parameter individually or separately. Okay, so this constitutes the method header. This constitutes the method header. We have modifiers, then we have return value type, then method name and formal parameter. In this method header, these modifiers as well as the parameter list, that is optional. We may skip them as per our requirement. Okay, now the body of the method is from this point to this point. Okay, all these statements are the part of the are under the body of the method, and these statements are to be enclosed within curly braces. Okay, so in this example, here is the source code of a method called max. This method takes two parameters, num1 and num2, and returns the maximum between the two. So public static, and then we have int return type. Max is the name of the method. Two parameters are passed, two arguments are passed, num1 and num2. The data type is also mentioned there. The data type of two parameters is mentioned, and the body of the method is enclosed within these braces. Whenever this method is called, it shall return a value, and what value it will return, it depends upon the value of num1 and num2. If num1 is greater than num2, then result will be num1, otherwise result will be num2, means it will return the bigger number out of the num1 and num2 numbers whenever and wherever we call this method, that is max method. This is a complete example here. We have a class, name of the class is testmax, and under this class we have the main method. Okay, and here this is the calling of the method, and this part is the definition of the method. Within this main method, what we have done is we are calling a max method, and we are passing two arguments to the max method, I and j, means I equals to 5 and j equals to 2, means we are calling here the max method with two parameters 5, 2. So what the machine will do is it will transfer the control to the definition part of the method. I equals to 5, so the value of I will be assigned to num1, means num1 equals to 5 now, and j is 2, so the value of j will be copied to the num2, means num1 equals to 5 and num2 equals to 2. So it shall check whether num1 is greater than or equal to num2. So obviously in this example the value of num1 is bigger than that of num2, so result equals to num1, means it will return result 5. So this max method is returning a value 5, that is integer value 5. So in place of max I comma j, 5 will be returned, and that will be assigned to the variable k, and we are simply using that value, returned value, in the println method. So next is the void keyword. So whenever we want to design a method which is suppose is not which is not going to return any value, in such a situation in the return type of the method we have to mention void. Means here in this example what we are doing is we have a class, under that class we have main method, and we are calling this method. This is the calling of the method, print grade. That is a user defined method, and we are passing one argument to this method. So in the definition part of the method we have void keyword. Void means it will not return any value. The 78.5 is assigned to score, and accordingly we've written certain set of statements. So if the return type is void, then we must not put the return statements. In the previous example, as the return type was int, so we use the return statement because this max method was supposed to return an integer value whenever and wherever it is called. But in this example, as the return type is void, we must not be using the return statement.